music. Cue the intro. Oh, actually, let me see if we're on. You can hear us out on Twitch. It is not Twitch. Okay. Test 1, 2, test 7, 1, 2, test 7, 1, 2, test 7, 1, 2. Got it.
10, 11, 12.
Excellent. All right. 3, 2, 1. Howdy, folks. Welcome to Twist Take a Mouse, the place for casual gamers, video game news and reviews. I'm Don, I go with Diddi within the gaming community, and with me tonight, as always, my co-host JayDimes.
What's going on, folks?
We present to you episode 201, and today is July 7th, 2025. And on today's episode, Microsoft employees have a really bad day. Are digital games really a good thing? We look at what some users are saying about the Nintendo Store, and some more news about Microsoft and their desire to take over the world. So, how are you, my friend? It's been like at least 2 days since we saw each other.
Yes, yeah, I guess that is accurate. I saw you on Friday.
Friday.
I have been well.
Yeah.
I have been well.
That's good.
Back to work. It's a
yeah.
Monday.
Tell me about it. Today was long.
Yeah, and tomorrow is my into the office day, so
Yeah.
got to go to bed early, get up early, and sit in awful traffic.
Yeah. You're still going down to that horrid place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I never enjoyed going down there. I'm glad I don't have to anymore.
But the company is throwing us an ice cream social tomorrow evening.
It's a good ice cream.
So I'm assuming it will be. I don't know where the ice cream's coming from. I know it's free.
Well, okay, free ice cream is good ice cream, but
yeah,
you know,
it's priced well.
Oh, okay. Yes. I mean, but is it like Blue Bunny ice cream? I mean, you can get the good stuff.
I hope, but I'll report back next episode what kind of ice cream I got.
All right. I got nothing going on. I'm telling you, I'm studying for this test, and it's killing me.
When have you scheduled your exam yet?
I have not scheduled the exam. So Okta has these premier exams, which you have to pay for, which are sort of irritating. But they are basically exactly like the exam.
Mm-hmm.
And I took one yesterday, and I ran out of time. So I have some work to do.
Well, that's the good thing about the practice test is that you can get yourself acclimated.
Yes. Yeah.
For time.
I found it interesting though. They have some like documentation about what to study. It was like almost word for word what the labs were on the exam. It's like, okay, I hope the real exam's like that.
Hey, you should also check out Quizlet.
Who?
Quizlet, Quizlet.
Okay.
Typically there's a lot of free study materials.
All right, I will check that out.
There.
Yeah, this is one of those things. These are hard. Apparently, the Okta exams are hard. Hard exams, anyways. They're not the easiest in the world to do. We shall see. Yeah, I'll get there eventually. It is. At first, all these things are daunting.
Hey, if at first you don't succeed,
Try
just
again
try again.
and
Yep.
again and again and again until you make it.
Or you run out of money. One of the two.
Well, yeah.
Let's hope it's not the latter.
Let's hope it's not the latter. Apparently, well, the company's paying for it, so
Oh, that's good.
I mean,
Yeah, but my company, they'll pay when you pass. So if
oh
you
yeah,
have to take multiple attempts,
oh yes. Well, they already
they're
said
only going to pay for the initial.
so. You get the initial one, and I think one free retake, and then and if you have to take it again, it is substantially less. I would. I hope I would not have to take it more than twice, but you never know.
Yeah. Fingers crossed for you.
Fingers
Fingers
crossed.
crossed for you, sir.
So, beyond that, not a whole lot going on. Um, Comics are still good. Batman. Let's see. Batgirl came out this past week. I think this week is Superman. The Batgirl comics are really good. Those
Yeah.
those I'm really enjoying. I don't know. Were those absolute? You
I
know,
only read the first two of the Superman series, and I'm done. I'm not keeping that on my list.
really didn't like it.
Nah.
Yeah.
Listen, I was actually in the comic shop talking to a buddy of mine and the guy Troy that manages the shop. And I was just saying how like historically I am not a Superman reader. Like I like some Superman elsewhere stuff. I mean there are Superman stories out there that I like.
Mm-hmm.
However, as a general rule like I don't buy Superman series. Like unless it's like a one-off thing
Yeah.
um that I really like. So like Superman and Unchained, I bought because it was Scott Snyder and Jim Lee, and Jim Lee is my favorite. So I
Yeah.
bought that series and read that. But yeah, by and large, I don't read a lot of Superman. So
Yeah. I thought the
um,
absolutes would be a little different. So far,
maybe when they do like a collection, like depending on how many issues it runs,
yeah.
when it's a collected. But like as far as like buying it week to week, like I think those books have all gone in the stack of books that are like gonna get given away.
No. All right. Yeah. I think the only one I like am putting away is
Oh, Justice League.
yeah. I'm
Yeah, I
saving
mean,
those to
I
try and
like
read
most
all
of
at
the
once.
absolute stuff. I like Batman, although Batman is slowing down. Like it's not as good right now as I think it was when it started.
Yeah, I thought it was better when it
Um,
started. Bat.
Wonder Woman, I think, has been the best written of all of them.
Mine's a tie for Bat. Um, Wonder Woman and Batgirl. Although the Batgirl
Is the Batgirl an
absolute?
absolute?
I'm not sure. It might not be absolute.
And the absolute Green Lantern has been pretty good too.
Yes, not bad. I'm not particularly thrilled with Martian Hunter. Well,
I have the first three. I think I have the first three issues like over here to my left. Haven't read any of them. I'm pretty sure that's probably going the way
the
of the
way of
giveaway pie.
Superman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of new ones coming out. Red Hood.
Is that
Um,
going to be an absolute?
no,
Red Hood.
and
I mean, I do generally like Red Hood, the character. However, it's going to have to be really, really good for me to decide that I'm going to add
yeah,
a new book to the list.
yeah. There's another one too. And I'm trying to remember the name of it. It looked really good. I know I started Ultimate. Is it Ultimate?
Mm.
Let me see. Let me see what my list is. Yeah, this is Superman this week. My comics. Yeah. Log in. Stop it. Imperial. Imperial's the one that just started. That looks pretty good.
Oh, that's the Hickman book.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna bring you another book. Uh, another couple of hardcovers. One of them is a Hickman hardcover that you might really like, which was House of X,
Oh,
which was the kind of like his reboot to the X-Men.
oh, okay.
Yeah, next time I'm out that way, which probably won't. Well, I mean, I think technically it should have been this week, or no. Was I at Foster's last week?
We were just there.
Okay, yeah. So it'll be next week, but I'm not sure if next week. I'm not positive. I think Ben might be on vacation, so I don't know if I'll make it out that way. Um, but yeah, whenever I'm out there next time.
Yeah, and I told you about World Trade. That one's really good.
Oh yeah, no, I've been reading World Trigger. I've been keeping up with it. Read. I just caught up um with that series over the weekend. I think I read like 3 or 4 books
Yeah, I think I have
to
the
get
last
caught up. So
two to read. I'm a couple behind. I even got back into it. I even got back into graphic novels now. She's reading a series called March.
oh yeah, the John Lewis.
It's a John Lewis thing. Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
good.
I actually met the author for that series years ago. He came to AwesomeCon. You know what? You know what? Book Beck would probably really like is Saga.
I have Saga. I could let her watch that, or
Yeah, yeah. You
read that.
let her read that. Yeah, watching it's not going to do
No.
a whole lot of good. But yeah, you should have her read that. I very rarely have recommended Saga to someone and they not liked it. Like I bet I could give Vanessa Saga and she might even enjoy that book. It's I mean cuz I mean it's a really good story.
It's a good story.
I'm very behind on my Saga issues, which I really need to catch up with.
Yeah, I only have that first compendium.
I think I have the first. I didn't buy the compendiums. I bought like the hardcovers.
Yeah, I just
Um,
have the first one.
and I think I have 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, they unfortunately.
I did finally start buying the floppies, which was probably a mistake. Like I read everything else as a hardcover.
Yeah,
I probably could have done just fine within the floppy, but
I
yeah.
should remember the new one that's coming out. I'm trying to remember. It was a weird name. Yeah, I remember it. I have it written down. I don't see it. Okay.
Um,
Anyways, let's see. Yeah. Beyond that, nothing exciting. No new games for Switch. Looking forward to Donkey Kong. Um, that looks good.
Tomorrow you might find some good deals on
Yeah, we'll have to look
uh,
on Amazon tomorrow.
and like Target and Walmart because it looks like they are going to do a lot of matching or like competing prices.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's Amazon. The Prime Days are sort of. I mean, they'll have some good stuff, but you really got to pay attention to it. It's they'll have like you know 15 things that are $2 less, and then
Oh yeah,
one good thing.
No, Vanessa and I were talking about that today. That like you got to pay attention to whether or not like it's really on sale. I think with like honey and there's another extension that you can get. I can't think of the name of it right now. Where it'll tell you like what the most recent price has been.
You know, didn't Honey get sued? Not that there was like a class action suit against them
Oh, there may have been. It is entirely
for
possible.
they were sniping um the sales or something. I don't know exactly how it worked, but they would give somebody the discount and then snipe the sale at the end of it.
Oh. Well, listen, I'm not suggesting people use it for anything
Other than
other
comparing the
than
price.
comparing prices. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. If you do it for anything other than that, you do it at your own risk, not because Tim recommended it. That's what I say to that.
I hear you. I hear you. All right. Let's jump in here. Let's see. So, unfortunately, Microsoft laid off more than 9,000 employees this past week. Uh, Along with the devastating effect on the lives of those people, um, had the ripple effect across the tech landscape did not miss the video game world. So let's take a look at what was impacted by this latest labor cut and what the industry thought of it. And spoiler alert, the industry was not happy.
Oh, of course not.
Not at all. So that was about 4% of their labor force, and that goes along with the 5,000 people that they laid off just a couple of months ago.
Right, yeah.
So that's
What was the percentage you just said?
four.
So they have essentially laid off close to 10% of their workforce in the last 6 months.
Yes. Yeah. And they don't actually say why. They blame it on AI and a whole bunch of other things and restructuring and all that kind of stuff. But it's honestly, it's about money and providing money to the shareholders. It's always what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
For sure.
the one thing that we know is directly impacted by this was the company doing Perfect Dark, and so
Mm-hmm.
the Perfect Dark game has been canceled completely. The developer, the initiative, was set down and closed. So they Perfect Dark is no longer being made. Um, what was the other one? Um, Everwild, which was one that as a matter of fact, that they touted this in their event that they had. That one has been it was Rare's project, and I think they canceled it. The
Yeah,
other one was Project Blackbird.
Project Blackbird.
That was an MMORPG. Uh,
Oh, I think I remember that being something I was interested in from like one
mm-hmm.
of the.
Yeah, because it was the same people that did Elder Scrolls, and it was noir themed. Uh, does not look, and that was canceled also. Um, there was a game in development by Romero Games, which was canceled completely. Uh, Turn 10, who is Forza, they lost 50% of their workforce. So that puts a crimp on anything that they were gonna do. Let's see. Halo Studios was slightly affected. Raven Software lost 8% of their force. That's Call of Duty. Um, as well as High Moon and Sledgehammer, which are also Call of Duty. Blizzard canceled Rumble. That was part of that, and all those people were let go also. part of that.
It also sounds like they're looking at a way to cut and pay for acquisitions. Like hey, they bought all this
Yes.
stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and 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 not for nothing, there may be some redundancy in staff. You know what I mean? Like you bought all these gaming companies, um, you kept all the staff, or not a lot of the people. I do remember when they kind of consolidated people above the line.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, more towards the beginning of that merger, but then after that, I think a lot of like the rank and file people they kept, and now you're looking at, well, we're going to close some studios, we're going to get rid of some people. I'd be interested to see like how talent moves around for this, like how they shuffle that out, because I can't imagine that like for a studio like for instance Turn 10 that puts out Forza, that these are titles that they really want to have language, like it's one of their top first party.
Yeah,
But
you would think so.
also, if you're only making that title every 2-3 years, like really, what kind of full-time staff do you need every day, right? Like,
Right.
so I mean, listen, it's terrible for the 9,000 people
It is.
for sure, right? Um, but I think people should be have a little bit of optimism, like when it comes to like, okay, well, what is the state of Xbox first party? You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily think now, Perfect Dark, for instance. What I don't get is for something like Perfect Dark, you close the studio, but why not move the game to one of your other studios and finish it,
I know you would
right?
think so, but they said completely canceled.
I am I,
Now,
I am really surprised that the ZeniMax, like that MMO, because they haven't really put out a lot of content from that Bethesda ZeniMax acquisition. So I'm surprised something that's well in the pipe like that
mm-hmm.
didn't stick. But also, what was it, Starfield?
Yeah,
Like Starfield did not do very
it did
well.
not.
And so they could be a little trigger shy
Mm-hmm.
because of that. So
Yeah, the that one Blackbird, it was 3+ years in development.
yeah,
They scanned it.
that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money
And
to
yeah,
let
and the
go.
last part of that was even the so mobile people got hit with 10% of staff. That's
Oh,
king.
mm,
So not as many Candy Crush levels coming.
right. Yeah, for sure. Not as many Candy Crush
You know,
levels coming.
we sort of make fun of that a little bit, but I mean that is the cash cow, right? That's the one that makes the most
Yeah,
money.
yeah, yeah. Candy Crush is where the money is. So, and I feel like in relation to like a AAA game, it's it's the easier way to make money,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
it's microtransactions, and
Yeah.
because you're playing along and you've run out of energy, and you just got you only need five more, to five more levels to get whatever it is, and you're like, it's only $3. What the hell? And you know,
Yeah. Yeah. So
it's
it, it
easy.
it is it is interesting to me that those are places where they've decided to cut costs, but yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
and the rest of the industry was not happy either.
oh, of course not.
Um, I saw lots of people from uh, other teams and other studios talking about how it's bad. Of course, some of them were like, "Well, maybe we'll pick some of those people up too." So
Yeah, I mean it is always unfortunate to see your coworkers go.
Yes. I mean, I'm sure you have.
Nothing.
You and I have both been through that
Mm-hmm.
multiple times, unfortunately.
So hopefully most of those folks can land on their feet
Yep.
and
Find something else.
find
Video
something else. Yeah.
video game industry is tough, man. I'll tell you. As a developer, it's just something you look at and you're like, oh, it'd be fun to work on video games, and then you're like, yeah, that
But I feel
industry's
like the
hard.
skill set should translate to other things from like a coding programming standpoint.
Coding and programming, yes, to a certain extent, but there are definitely specialized things that you do in video
Mhm.
games that don't really translate to industry, to the especially the government sector like I'm in. It's just it's just really different.
Yeah.
Alrighty, this next one is really interesting. I've heard quite a bit about this. There have been a lot of videos. You buy a game on Steam and it goes in your library. You own that game, right? Uh, well, it doesn't seem possible, but what if Steam went out of business?
Hmm.
Can't happen. Then Google Stadia. Google has all the money in the world. And they still went under. You would lose access to those games that you paid money for. Well, a new online initiative called Stop Killing Games aims to close that loophole. If you haven't heard about this, where have you been? Um, Everybody and their brother, I believe, has made a video about this, from Linus Tech Tips to Gamers Nexus to Jay's Two Cents to name them. What this is an online petition in the EU uh, to make game companies make games available, even if the company no longer exists. Um,
I don't know how they would go about that.
I don't know how they would go about it, but
And honestly,
I believe what they're talking
it
about.
sounds great, but like,
Yeah.
what do you do when hardware changes?
Yeah, so I believe what they're talking about is creating like an archive where if a company goes under, they put the games in the archive and you still have access to that game. Now,
Mhm.
that sounds great, but there are so many games that require you to be online
Mhm.
that I don't see how that's feasible. I will put the link to the petition in the show notes, but uh, it's it's interesting. I'll give that. It's an interesting concept. I understand where it's coming from. Let me see what it actually says. This
Yeah,
initiative calls to require publishers that sell or license video games to consumers in the EU uh, to leave said video games in a functional state if they are no longer in business. It seeks to prevent the remote disabling of video games by the publishers. What was it? What? Oh, what servers did they just? This wasn't too long ago. We just talked about this. They shut the servers down for. We just talked about this a couple months ago.
mm,
I don't remember what the game was, but it's been around a long time.
yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, this will be interesting to see where this goes. I mean, what would you do? What would you do?
Yeah, who do you call when something doesn't work?
Yeah.
Like that I think is like the most overwhelming issue. And what company wants to take on the liability of having to manage somebody else's code? I don't think that could ever I don't think that could ever actually happen. Because I think if a game company goes under, right? Let's say you own the game on Steam. Steam will continue to house the game.
Mm-hmm.
But the minute there's an issue with that game, Steam's not fixing it for
Yes.
you.
Yeah, Steam says that all the time. It's not our problem. Talk to
Yeah.
the manufacturer.
And there's no money out there to pay somebody else to fix it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's somebody else's IP. Somebody else has already made the money on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. That's an interesting one. I understand what they're coming from, though. I mean, you pay, especially as expensive as games are nowadays.
$100 games, man.
Yep. Yeah. Even
I
the
mean, you gotta buy games from companies that are too big to fail.
even the Switch games. Switch games are $80. The new ones, like outrageous. All right. In another instance of some people who have way too much time on their hands, users of Nintendo Online believe they have figured out a future release for the Switch 2. How, you say? By crossing their eyes, turning their head slightly to the side, and staring at blurry pixels in the background of the site. So this got people. Seriously, people get a life. People were staring at the background at at Nintendo Online. If you've never been to Nintendo Online, when you go to it, they've always got this blurred background in the back,
Mhm.
and they're looking at it, and they're like, "That's Smash Brothers." And if so, they are in the they are believing that Nintendo is planning to release a new Smash Brothers for the Switch 2. I don't know. I can't. I don't see Smash Brothers in it. Maybe.
But I think it's also true that Nintendo's probably looking to release another Smash Brothers.
Yeah, but I mean, yes, it's also not a stretch. It's also not a stretch that Nintendo's looking to release another Smash Brothers.
Right, exactly.
Because I mean, is it their? No, it can't be their biggest. By the way, oh my God, is Mario Kart fun?
Oh,
The
it's always has been though. I mean, I
the,
hate driving games,
the
but
open world is great. It's just, and they've got these stupid little challenges where you can like you hit this, you run into this button type of thing, and then you have to complete the challenge, like drive on walls and get through, jump through hoops, and say it's ridiculous. It's such a time waster
and fun.
and fun. Yep, well done, Nintendo. It's really good. Um, all right, all right. So, and for our last story, Game Pass is a good deal, and almost everyone I know has it. But is it a good thing? Raphael Colantonio? I know I butchered that, sorry. One of the co founders of Arcane Studios doesn't think so. So let's look at what he has to say.
I have a question before we even do that.
Okay.
Is Arcane Studios owned by Xbox?
I don't think so.
Then what's his horse in the race?
Yeah, true.
I'm going to tell you what his horse in the race is,
Well, he
Don.
wants
It's
to
a
sell his
great
game,
program.
right?
Right. And what I think probably a lot of these game companies are finding is that it is harder to talk people into paying for their game when Xbox is giving you all of these games
Mm-hmm.
for free.
Yes.
But
At launch.
this is something that I also know. Microsoft's not out here trying to lose money.
They are not.
So they must know that they're still going to make that money.
Well, Microsoft's game, their the way they look at it is, you're going to subscribe for 15 or 16, or it's $20 a month now, right? Something like that. Whatever Game Pass is, you're going to subscribe for that $15 a month, and in the end, you're going to spend more than what the game would have cost anyways.
Yeah.
So I mean, but
he's bitter that he's not selling games. But that I don't think that means that Game Pass is not a sustainable product.
Well, he thinks
I mean, they have raised the price.
Is an unsustainable model that has increasingly damaged the industry for a decade, subsidized by Microsoft's infinite money. They can't lose money on Game Pass, do they? They can't.
Well, listen. Here's this. This would be my response to that. We know that Sony doesn't have infinite money.
Yeah.
And they offer a pass system also.
Yeah, but it isn't anywhere as near as popular as Game
Pass.
Oh,
well, that's true. Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, you want to know why Microsoft has Game Pass? Because Xbox Game Pass generates approximately $2 billion per year, with some estimates reaching $2.9 billion in 2021. Analysts predict revenue could exceed $5.5 billion by 2025. That is why Microsoft gives you
this
Game Pass.
This quote from this guy is not about whether Game Pass works for consumers and whether or not Microsoft is making money at it.
Right.
It is about him not making money in a world where Game Pass exists.
Right. Yes, it's harder for him to sell his game when somebody else can, when Microsoft has, I played 4 new games this month. I never played 4 new games in a month, because of Game Pass, right? I played South of Midnight. I played Doom. I played, what was the other one? I tried a couple other ones just to try them to see if I like them because of Game Pass. I mean, you can't do that. You can't spend, what did we just say, $80, $90 on a game and hate it.
Arcane has also not put out a lot of what I would say are great games, right? They put out Redfall, which was a Game Pass game. It was an Xbox exclusive. But other than that, Deathloop. I don't think anybody was writing home about Deathloop.
Nope.
They did the 2 Wolfenstein games that came out together, Youngblood and Cyberpilot. The Dishonored series,
which they're all okay games, right?
And Prey. Yeah. I mean, so other than that, like, they're not out here producing and releasing new games that are lighting the world on fire. I don't know what
you can make, you know what? You can make a lot of games for $2 billion a year. You can make a lot of games for that. I mean, if a game costs, what is it, $250 million to make?
Okay. Let me also just say, this guy's probably about to lose his job. Because Arcane is a subsidiary of ZeniMax.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so he's talking bad about the parent company. Yeah, listen. This guy, he's been with Arcane. He's the founder and president of Arcane Studios. I don't know how much longer he's gonna be at Arcane. if next episode we find out that this guy is no longer employed there, I won't be surprised.
Yeah.
I don't wish that on him, but I don't know. I don't know what the positive he thought was going to happen from talking bad about the parent company's flagship product. So there's that. I wouldn't have
Who is
said it,
this?
but
Yeah, I mean, there are other people that are upset with them, but they are just. I mean, but like this other guy Romero, he's from ID. I mean, they just
Mhm.
released the game on Game Pass, day
Yeah.
one exclusive. I mean, actually, was it exclusive? No, Doom was on other platforms.
Now maybe he's upset they're not getting the funding and
Yeah, no, maybe it's that.
ability to
Maybe
go
it's
forward.
control, right? Because
Yeah.
Microsoft at $2 billion a year, they're they're subsidizing a lot of these studios, right? They're pumping money into these things to get a piece of the action, so they can release it on Game Pass day one. They probably
Right.
don't like that. Well, I know they don't like that. Nobody likes
Yeah, but you're owned by but you're owned by a company. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Game Pass is the Netflix for gamers. Yeah,
It very much is.
it very
I
much
mean,
is. Yeah, I
that's
don't
a
have a
true
problem with
story. Um,
it.
and
Well,
also, Microsoft has been more and more apt to put games out, like not just on Microsoft, but also on like PlayStation and PC. So,
they have
um,
definitely diversified lately in that
so
aspect.
there's
Yes.
probably money for him to make. For instance, this Marvel's Blade game, if that actually goes through,
Mm-hmm.
like that's going to be multi-platform. It's probably going to sell pretty good if it's a good game. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like what I do know is I don't feel like it was a good idea for him to say that out loud in his
Possibly
situation.
not. Possibly not. All right, that is a show. That's all we have for today. It was sort of a slow week, other than Microsoft news going on. And it was the Fourth of
Yeah,
July. Hope everybody was safe.
everybody
We
still got their fingers and toes from the
yes,
fireworks.
we went to a friend's house and had mediocre fireworks night, which was
Hey, sounds safe.
which was just the stupid fountains you get around here.
Sounds
But it was
safe.
fun. It was great. Actually, some of them were pretty. I wouldn't want to get too close to them. I mean, the fountains were fine, but the little sparklies and cracklies and stuff.
Mhm.
I wouldn't want to be too close to those. I had a stupid dog once that used to like chase the fireworks. It was just stupid. That was dumb.
Hey, let him get Popeye one of them. He won't do it no
He
more.
didn't care. He didn't care. The sparks would go out and the sparks would be flying down on him. He'd just be like, "This is great." Dumb dog.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to tell you about that dog.
All right, folks. Um, any final thoughts, Tim?
Nothing for me, man.
Okay. No TV. Not a whole lot going on. It's that time of year, right?
It's a slow.
It's slow. The NFL is slow. Baseball's slow. Even though it's going on, it's slow.
I will say, if somebody's looking for a new TV show to watch on Amazon Prime, there is a show called Countdown, starring Jensen Ackles from Supernatural
Oh, yes.
and The Boys,
Mm-hmm.
and Eric Dane from The Last Ship and Grey's Anatomy. It's a really good kind of cop joint task force
Hmm.
action thriller. It's been pretty good.
Yeah, sounds all right. Yeah, we haven't watched anything new. We watched that. I think I talked about that last time. The Residence.
Oh yeah, that just got canceled. There will be no season 2 of that.
Oh, really? Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
She was really good. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a great show. I mean, listen, not for nothing though. I don't know that that's a show that needed a season 2 either. But
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, okay, the whole point of the Residence was you were in the White House. It was the whole point of it. I don't know how you do a season 2 of that unless you pick
yeah,
some other famous
yeah, you
building.
have well, I mean, it could be just like they did with Knives Out, right? Or
Yeah,
what's the other one? Not there was Death on a Nile, and then Death. The first that was the second one. I forget what the first one was called. Death on the Murder on the Orient
Murder on
Express.
the Orient Express. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like those are like Murder on the Orient Express would have been fine as a standalone movie. Second one was great. The second one actually might have been better than the first one. Um, but then if they don't do a third one, okay. Actually, they did do a third one, and I didn't like it very much. It was more of like it was supposed to be more of like a scary horror movie, and it wasn't very good at that.
No.
But yeah, if we don't get a second season of The Residence, all right, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm trying to find time to
I
watch
never, I
Sinners.
can never understand what Netflix, how they decide what they're going to renew and what they're not going to renew.
No idea, because the ones
So,
that seem like everybody likes, they cancel. I'm like,
yep,
and the ones that I don't know. I don't know how they pick.
yeah, yeah. But you should definitely watch Sinners.
Yeah,
Find
I'm
some
trying to
time.
find a time to watch it because I have to watch it by
Uh,
myself.
okay. So listen, here's the thing, Don. Right. So you know that there are vampires.
Mm-hmm.
75% of that movie has no vampires. There's nothing scary about
Yeah,
it.
I
It's the
understand.
last maybe 30 minutes, and I still wouldn't say it's scary. So maybe a little gore, but it's not scary. I feel
Well,
like
she didn't bother
Beck
Gore
would
because
make
she's
it.
watched The Boys with me.
Yeah, I think she'd be fine. Tell her to give it a go. Give her a pillow, and if it gets too much for her, she can put the pillow over her face. But I really don't think it will. I think she'll be fine. It's not scary. I don't know anybody that walked out and was like, "Ooh, this movie scared me."
I heard this story today. That there was some show that was canceled before it went to before it got released, and they used a lot of those costumes in Sinners. I can't
Oh,
remember.
Blade. It's the
Was it
Blade
Blade?
movie. Yep. Which tells me that means if when they said that they were they were redoing the script, like they are really redoing the script because it's going from something that must have been a period piece to something else for them to be willing to part with all the costumes.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's interesting because they put it all in a warehouse and it just sat there for a while, and then
Yeah, but it's a
yeah,
great movie.
here it is. Uh, yeah, it was for Blade. Yep, that's real cool. Let's make a new Blade movie.
I mean, they've been telling us they were going to, and it hasn't happened.
I
So we'll
mean,
see.
so I haven't seen it yet, but I mean, could they have done that as a Blade movie? I mean, it's vampires.
Yeah, I don't know how he would have. I don't know how they would have turned Sinners into a Blade movie. I mean, yeah, there are yes, there are vampires in both, but I don't know that it really fits.
Oh well, we shall. We may never know.
Nope,
Alrighty,
quite
folks.
possible.
Thank you for listening. If you'd like to reach out to the show and contribute in any way, please email us at joystickandmouse@gmail.com. You can learn how to follow us there. Please give us a nice review. And be sure to subscribe while you're there. So until next time, Tim.
Take it easy, folks.
If you like this show, check out more great content at incastmedianetwork.com.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
I think I'm going to go have a brownie.
Ooh, I had a brownie earlier.
Nice. Were they some of the ones left over from the cookout?
No, this was one that we got from Whole Foods.
Oh, nice.